We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show.
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I really may, not Jill, give you a 2021 real estate market update.
Here's the reason why. When we were sitting writing the topics, I asked for this topic. I said, babe, we talk a lot in the confines of our bathroom in the morning when we're getting ready, which is very true. We have fortunately, we have a large bathroom. It's not like it's not like a closed door situation. Don't worry about that.
Fortunately, Jill has a large bathroom that she lets me into to talk to her
We have
once
a
in a
large
while.
bathroom, no, and there's actually places to sit in the bathroom, which is very nice. So often one of us is getting ready. Usually it's me, not him, and he sits down with his cup of coffee, and we have these really great in-depth conversations. And lately, as I'm sure you are probably doing this also, I can't wait for 2021.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be possible? What do you think is going to happen with this kind of real estate and these situations and all of that? So I said, babe, can we move the bathroom discussion to the podcast, which we are doing now, and I'm lovingly calling it the 2021 Market Update by Stephen.
Boy, that's like truth time.
It is.
That's the most true thing I've heard with great detail.
Yes. Do you want me to describe our bathroom more?
If you need to.
Okay. It's okay. All right. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors Online community. It's free. Pete asks, I'm new to Land Academy, but not new to real estate or investing.
Good for you.
I sent out my first 10,000 piece mailer. Nice. Last week, and I'm waiting for the calls to come in. I'm in the middle of setting up my processes for when that does start happening next week. In a lot of businesses, I know that most of the money is made in the follow-up, not the initial contact with the prospect. In this business, the money's made when you buy it at the right price, of course. Buy it right, what we say. So it makes sense to me that my focus should be on acquisitions, and I'm confident that the rest will fall into place much easier. Is it typical for most of the sellers to agree to a deal on their first phone call? Or is there a lot of, let me think about it,
This is good. These are
and
good
then
questions.
you never hear back from them? If the latter is true, I'm thinking of having an extensive automated follow-up campaign that will really help. By this, I mean putting these automated tools in place. Emails, texts, ringless voicemails, Facebook retargeting ads, triggering them to visiting my website that I advertise on my offer letters. When I get a seller that's not ready to commit right away, I would just drop them into my CRM, and the rest would be completely automated until they respond again. It's not too hard to build up something like this that will follow up for a year. It would focus on a lot of contact within the first 2 weeks, then gradually get down to about one contact attempt a month. Has anyone built something like this out, and does it bring a lot of deals that you may or may not have happened? Thanks in advance. Dying to know, did anybody comment on this yet?
Oh, there's a bunch of comments on this, but I'll tell you, I just had this conversation with my tech team like 3 days ago, that these tools are becoming prevalent, where somebody calls you, it goes into a CRM, you either took the call, hopefully, Jill and I just had in the bathroom, we had this call about, man, you got to answer the phone.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, what you didn't say in here is answering the phone.
True.
Either you or somebody needs to answer the phone on the first phone call.
Right.
And then I think all these tools are great. I think that you got to make sure that they're law compliant.
Right.
But I don't think...
If they responded to you, if you send out an offer and now they respond back to you, I think that tackles it all. Because they engaged.
Yep.
So I think you're legally okay there.
Yeah, I can tell you're very experienced, and I love answering questions like this. Because, I'll tell you 4 or 5 times in this whole question, you answered yourself. I would absolutely recommend every single thing that you brought up here. Every single one in your comments about acquisitions and how important they are dead on.
I would like to add that in my situation, Most of my conversations with them don't go this way though. I'm usually making the deal right then and there. I got to say, because we still have plenty of signed offers that come right back. So this is not needed. It's just kind of the deal's there. If I want it, let's do it. Or they call back and they have like 3 little questions like, all right, this says net to me. Does that mean this? Does that mean that? Little things like that. Or I have to find out where the taxes are. Usually, again, then we're making the decision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a decision really, really fast. My only, you can tell me if you don't like it.
No, I'm sure. Joe.
Okay. My only personal concern is chasing people, but if it's automated and you're not having to do that, then I don't think that's crazy. I'm not gonna hire someone on my staff to say, here's all the people that called me. I made them a counter. They didn't like my counter. Blow up their phone until they agree to my counter. That's like, we just usually send more mail. So I'm actually curious to see how this goes.
I wouldn't try it out of the box.
Right.
Well, our answer has been, if our deal flow ever gets slow, is just to send more mail out.
That's it.
And so then there's just a whole new influx of people that their irons are hot already.
Right.
And Joe closes them.
This is good. This would be really good though. What if you're micro-targeting a very specific type of property or an area? Say you just love hunting property in whatever part of the country. I don't know. You've got a huge buyer's pool for this. So you're going hard after all these. This would make sense to me. Like, I really need a lot of this property because I know what I can do with it on a niche thing. But
the text would be annoying as hell after a while. Yeah. Emails I get, we're all victims of just so much email from like, hey, did you get my call? Hey, I noticed you haven't talked to me in the last couple of days. Hey, it's like, you know what? That's annoying. So
that's my only thought. I don't want to scare them away and make it. I could have had a deal, but now I pissed them off so much.
Here's a fact, Pete. These are all great ideas, and I know you're going to do well in this. I absolutely know. Just how this is worded and how you're approaching this and trying to add to the basic thing and put your own little flavor into all those things are fantastic. But the way that Jill and I teach this and the way that everybody in our group, the advanced group, and a substantial number of members do this works really well.
It's true.
So whatever you're saying here, I hope it adds to it, but don't replace anything.
Right. It's not crazy. And please, if you would, share your results.
Yeah.
I would love to know how this goes. That's really good information.
So I love what you say here, and then we'll move on about the focus is on the acquisitions. And I can tell you're an acquisition person. Well, it just occurred to me.
Correct.
Where in the entire real estate business is the focus on sales? It's within the real estate agent community. Mm-hmm. Where is all the controversy in the entire real estate business focused on? Real estate agents. And how ridiculous most of them are, and how unnecessary it is, and on and on and on. So, don't be a real estate agent. Real estate agents get the flack that they earn because they're trying to sell property for more than it's worth, or they're just shoving papers around. If it's priced right in the first place, you don't need one. Today's topic: the 2021 real estate market update. This is why you're listening. Jill's like, that's such a good answer to such a good question. Why do you have to wreck it with something like that?
Pretty much. That's exactly it. Could you just let that go?
The 2021 market. So I was just looking back at.
It's like a kid. You don't want to really take the wind out of their sails. Hey, Johnny, you look great on the field, but God, you suck. Let me tell you, not only is soccer not for you, I don't think any sport is for you. Maybe you should try ballet with your sister.
I don't think that's the way.
Okay.
I think parenting that way, that's not that far off.
I know, and I don't think that.
Let's get you a math tutor. You seem to be excelling in that.
I know, but you just gotta
playing soccer's not your thing.
And God, man, if I had known it was going to end like this, I'm not sure we would have had you.
Oh my God!
I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
I was going to say it another way, but I'm like, G-rated. All right.
I looked back at some of the stuff we talked about right when the COVID happened on this show and in our whole community and on our Thursday calls and everything. And I just laughed at myself because all the predictions that I made were so wrong. It's silly.
Oh, huh?
Not all, but
Oh, now I like this show.
more
Hi.
than half.
This is Steven eating his words. Just
Because
kidding.
Jill and I cut our teeth in some ways. Jill did certainly with land during the last downturn in 2010-ish, 2007.
That's for
And
sure.
it was tragic. We got cut to our knees real estate wise and kept there for a while. And we got ourselves out of it by buying cheap houses and reselling them in specific places in Phoenix. So I thought because of the COVID and because we've had such a prosperous real estate climb and because I research this stuff all the time, that some version of that, like many, many people, including like leading economists that work for the government or employed by the government, believed that that was going to happen. Some version of that, and exact opposite happened. What happened was, there's three huge variables that caused this that I didn't take into consideration. Number one, just the pure raw population growth from this millennial generation exceeds the baby boomer generation, which was until now the largest generation ever in the history of ever. So just the pure population growth is fueling this market, and it's not going to stop. They don't predict it to stop even in 2022. So that alone is amazing, and it didn't get discussed at all until COVID for some reason. The migration, no one could have predicted the migration. This stay-at-home order, all this stay-at-home stuff, especially in California or out west and in New York. It's not just out west. It's
Everywhere.
in large cities is where it
Right.
predominantly is. Has caused people to leave, to sell their assets for a pretty good profit, by the way. Sell assets in town, move to a larger place because everybody's going to is working from home, has been working from home. And now I think we all agree, and this goes way into 2021 and beyond, and I include us in this. We have a team of people that I wouldn't have believed it, are incredibly capable of hitting their numbers and doing what they're responsible for at home. And living, we just had our online Christmas party yesterday.
Yeah.
Achieving this life balance, which this is what it's all about. Why the reason that you want to be self-employed is so you can play with the kids and make some money from 5 to 8 or whatever works for you, or have a life balance with work.
Exactly.
So the migration out of the cities to move into a larger asset, cheaper asset, and take that equity out of there and pour it into a better investment for your family, that was something I never would have predicted at all. And then third, this rural, I don't know how to say it. Like there's a rural, I've never seen such a demand for very rural real estate. And I think it's because I think there's some political reasons for it. And I think that there's some this has sparked a personal choice for a lot of people
Right.
about just getting out of a city for a lot of reasons.
Not just, I hear you, not just taking control of their lives and their living, their income, the land part of it. Yeah, it's very interesting.
We talked to so many people
Yeah.
who are in the land market and so many Land Academy members that are like, I've just had it with New York City.
Right.
Or fill in the blank. I'm not picking on New York. Well, I am kind of.
Well, pick on where
Or
we
Los
are,
Angeles.
Los Angeles.
They're just tired of it.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Us included.
Yeah, us included. I include ourselves. I'm just tired of the whole thing.
Right.
So from a money standpoint, this is never the housing market itself, which the land market tends to follow, has never been this strong since 1983. And then I forgot to mention interest rates. Interest rates are 2.5% to 3%. So it's this perfect storm of real estate that's not going to go away. And then the cherry on top is forbearance. So we're seeing people are being allowed.
It's amazing.
That never happened in 2010. People are being allowed to not pay their mortgage or rent for and they're getting a bunch of money from the government if they need it, which is causing this situation where there's not a lot of inventory on the market. So it's driving prices up and all of that.
People don't have to move.
So more
Not
and
yet.
more. So my
I
whole,
don't have to pay, and I'm not getting kicked out yet. I get to sit tight and see what happens.
So my prediction in the early part of the year was like, well, forbearance is going to go 3 months, and it's going to, it'll all catch up, and then everybody's going to have to pay. Well, that's not what I just watched a very detailed, incredibly intelligently and well delivered presentation about forbearance and foreclosure by the guys at Adam Real Estate / Realty Track, and they said there's no end to this forbearance in sight. And when it does happen, which might not even be till 22, 23, it will be eked out. It won't be like, all right, it's January 10th and it's over.
Floodgates.
And you owe all the money that you didn't pay. And we know you can't pay it, which is kind of what happened in 2010. Mm-hmm. The bank just said, oh, you're not paying your mortgage? Okay, it's 90 days late. We're foreclosing on you. There was no program. There was no one to even call.
Right.
For these people. I know this because Jill and I were buying tons and tons of houses, REO bank-owned houses. And you could watch the data happen. So go ahead.
I feel so fortunate in this position. It's very interesting because this market update, you're talking all about real estate. So there's just this is just such an amazing time. 2020 is not only an amazing year for all of the regular reasons that we all know and how all of that went down, but the real estate, the opportunities and stuff it's created and the movement you just said. I never could have predicted this too. I can't wait to see what the next 10 years.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm like,
actually,
I think we got, as this show is airing right now, it's New Year's Eve. So this is so perfect. I am so excited. And in March, I was not excited. In March, I was nervous. I was hesitant, as were you. So if you're in our world, have anything to do with real estate or want to, there's just so much coming, a lot of opportunity.
Just when you think it's like, this might not, we just had the greatest experience financially and all of that, because Jill and I, we all had a great year this year. And I hope it was not at someone else's expense.
Right.
You never want that. But
I argue that we saved
wait.
some people.
Me
I know
too.
we did. Save some people that I didn't know how to put food on the table. Thank you very much.
But that was my point. I mean, I think our membership was great. We're getting incredible reports from people, our membership group, that they're doing really well. So, and it's working out. And there's no greater compliment for us than that.
I will add on this. If you want to be in our world, this is the last day, by the way. If you're thinking about joining Land Academy, this just came to me today. It ends tonight at midnight. Use a coupon code THROWBACK, THROWBACK, and you get our 2015 pricing. It's awesome. So check out landacademy.com. Happy you could join us today. You can find us right here 5 days a week on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show, which I guess is New Year's Day. Is 2021 Mindset for Success. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
You just hit me. I'm like going, wait a minute. What's the day? It's New Year's Eve. I'm excited.
I'm glad it's over.
I bet everybody is.
I'm glad we survived it.
We did.
Like financially and physically and everything. I'm glad you survived it.
Exactly. We're still here, and we're here to help
yeah,
you.
Jill, we're here still.
We are. Hey, and by the way, today's episode was brought to you by NeighborScoop.com. Check it out. It is your place to do all your due diligence, FEMA flood maps, and more. NeighborScoop.com.
Nice little commercial there.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button.
We are Steve and Jill. Let's just
What
do
happened?
that. I'm just changing it up because it's kind of boring, and I thought I'd change it up.
It's boring?
Well, not boring, but it's getting kind of. I want to throw in some Neighbor Scoop and some other good stuff. We covered it. Ready?
All right.
We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.